Hello. So this is episode 3, and I'm going to talk about ecology framing. I'm not going to break apart the word ecology yet. But this is a type of meta-framing, where you're not framing the frame, you're framing the frame. You're not framing the belief statement. Or you're framing the belief, you're not framing the belief statement. This might be a little bit advanced for episode 3, but I got excited and I was having a lot of fun doing whatever I'm about to do. So, we're going to test this definition I made up. Alright, so wizardry is the external thing. It means the art of producing magical things visualized by a wizard. A wizard practices magic. So, we're going to test words that end in the suffix ry by asking a few questions. Does this belief serve us? Is it limiting or enhancing? Does it keep things well ordered? So I'm going to tell you right now. That statement I just made, that belief statement, doesn't work all the time for words that end in ry, the suffix ry. The suffix meaning art. So, does that mean it's a bad statement? No, it just means it doesn't work all the time. But if we frame it ecologically, if we frame that belief that we have of saying wizardry is the art of producing magical things visualized by a wizard, and a wizard practices magic, it's, we can still say yes to that belief statement when we apply it to other things. When we apply that structure. So let's go to chemistry. If we use the in episode 2 we applied the meanings to different things. We changed the meaning of the external behavior, or we changed the external behavior of the meaning. That's a type of content reframing. Right now we're doing context reframing. No, we're doing content reframing. Doesn't matter, just remember content and context, and I'm doing that right now. So, chemistry is the art of producing molecular things visualized by a chemist. A chemist practices molecularity. Doesn't work all the time. The wizardry is the art of producing magical things produced by a wizard. But I believe it is a useful statement. It is ecologically serves us well. Or that belief statement serves us well when we're trying to order other things. Doesn't work all the time, but it works a little bit. Especially with made-up things. Let's try another one. Chivalry is the art of producing chivalric knights visualized by a society. A society practices knighthood. Doesn't really work. Kinda works. Really close, but it doesn't really work. Let's change the suffix. Alchemism. The practice of producing the Sorcerer's Stone visualized by an alchemist. An alchemist practices maturity. Produces maturity. Cool. Let's restate that one. Alchemism is the practice of producing the Sorcerer's Stone visualized by an alchemist. An alchemist Alchemy is the art of maturity. So it doesn't really work at all. I wouldn't say that it is a perfect frame for any of these arts. But it's still the statement, a wizardry is the art of producing magical things visualized by a wizard practices magic. It still helps us order things well. It's enhancing. It gives structure. Doesn't mean that the frame of reference you put on the belief is perfect, or that you'd even have to say yes to it, but it does order your thoughts. Let's go with the word I made up, biophexery. And since it's a made-up thing like wizardry, it works way better. Biophexery is the art of producing biological things visualized by a biofex. A biofex practices making life. So it works with that example. Counter examples are a way to frame things. Or they're a way to check belief statements. Not how to frame things, they're how to change the content, but still make the belief work with the same context. Okay, clownery. I didn't write a definition for it, so let me just make one up right now. Or y'all can make one up. So I'll give you a second. Okay. Clownery is the art of producing comedic things visualized by a clown. A clown practices comedy. Worked for that one. So, what does this mean where we have this belief statement where we can define an art as define a word with the suffix ry as the art of producing blank things visualized by a blank practices blank. Let me rephrase that. A word that ends in the suffix ry is defined as the art of producing X things visualized by a Y. A Y practices X. doesn't work all the time, but it keeps things well ordered. So when we frame things ecologically, when we have that statement, the XY statement, and we put it in an ecological frame, it's a good statement. I would say yes to it. But when we put it into an allness frame, not particularly good. I'd say no to it a lot. But it still keeps things well ordered. I get insight from these statements, even though they aren't perfect. I got insight from that statement, wizardry is the art of producing magical things visualized by a wizard. A wizard practices magic. I want to make one for profit. Religion is the art of producing mature people visualized by a prophet. Cool. Now this is a hard one. Commandery. I'll give you a second while I take a second. Y'all. Commandery is the art of producing militaristic things visualized by commander. A commander practices military. See, that doesn't work because the definition of commandery had military in it. Had suffix ry. Maybe that's fine. Anyway, that's episode 3 on ecology framing. And again, I've mentioned all in this framing because I say all the time. And it really helps me check my beliefs. Thank you. See ya.